Hi everyone, this is Nathan with ebookreader.com. For this review I thought I'd go ahead and do a comparison between the Kobo Aura HD and the Kobo Glo. So obviously both devices from Kobo, they're like 95% the same. They got like basically the same software. There is a few subtle differences though, so I'm going to go ahead and point those out to you right here. Okay, so the first thing is with the front lighting. It just looks different when they're side by side. This one, the Kobo Glo looks a little bit brighter. The light just looks a little bit brighter. I kind of like the light on the Kobo Aura HD a little bit better though. You can't really see any of the brighter areas along the bottom or anything. It seems to be like it's just a little bit more uniform. It's not quite as bright like I said. So as far as the screen resolution, this one's got a higher screen resolution. It's got the bigger screen size. We've got 6.8 inch screen. This has got a 6-inch screen. So this one's got the 1440 by 1080 resolution. This one's got the, 1024 by 758. So we get a little bit more pixel density on this one, but it's kind of hard to tell, I guess. Both of them look really good. I guess this one does look a little bit crisper than this one, so you kind of can see a little bit of a difference. The hard thing though is getting these two font sizes set up the same. So with the different screen resolution, I don't think the fonts are exactly the same size. Looking closely, these ones look pretty darn close to the same size, so I think this will be a good comparison. I've got the same book loaded here, as you can see, with the same font and the same, everything's tuned to, so it's comparable. This ends here, it ends up here like just right here where it says slow and so we're getting all this extra real estate here as far as comparing it to the Kobo Glo. If you see my other comparison with the Kindle Paperwhite, the difference wasn't really as significant because the Kindle Paperwhite doesn't have all this dead space with the headers and footers like the Kobo does. So really the Kindle almost fits just as much text on the screen as the Kobo Aura HD, even though it's got the bigger screen size here. So let me go ahead and tweak with the light settings here just to show you some of the differences with them. Both of them right now are set to maximum. One thing with the Aura HD is you gotta hit that little icon up there. The menu system is mostly the same, but it's a little bit different. On the Kobo Glo, the brightness indicator is always down here at the bottom. So we can go ahead and just adjust it that way, where this one we need to bring it up from up to the top. So here's both about 50%. The Kobo Glo doesn't give a percentage, whereas the this one does, but the percentage doesn't update when you adjust it. See, it still says 56 unless I slide it. But if I use these little deals, it doesn't update. Still, it still says 53%. But so I think we're both roughly about half right there. The Kobo Glo does still seem like it's a little bit brighter. Let's go ahead and turn the light off just so you can get an idea what it looks like with the light off. Alright, so both devices, they do look good, and for nighttime reading, the Kobo Glo does sort of have a different color to it. This one is just a slight more yellowish in tone, it seems like. This is just a slight bluer in tone, so there's definitely a slight difference with the front lights. I think that probably goes, if we had two Kobo Glos comparing them side by side, there'd probably be a slight difference in the tone of the glow light with them too, so I think that all just sort of depends on the individual device itself. Let me go ahead and show a couple other different font, or a couple of different light adjustments here. Let's go ahead and go all the way down to minimum. So yeah, definitely brighter on the Kobo Glo than it is on the Kobo Aura HD as far as the minimum brightness setting. So yeah, the one thing some people complained about with this is being with the Kobo Glo is that it was too bright a little bit when you're reading it at night with the brightness turned all the way down. So definitely the Kobo Aura HD has a little bit more of a dimness to it than the Kobo Glo does. So let's get these lights all the way back up so that we can see them again. I'll turn the light back on and we'll go over a couple of the other software differences. There isn't much, like I said. We've got the same sort of font, obviously, the same sort of font selections. You can come in here, fine tune exactly, like you can see I had to get the font higher on this one just to get it to match that one, just because of the screen resolution differences, I guess. As far as that goes, we also obviously go in, do the advanced settings. So if you wanted to make the font darker, you can go ahead and just adjust the weight of it right here. Apparently I didn't hit that one good enough. So yeah, that's one cool thing about Kobo is you can adjust the weight, so make it nice and dark. You can tell right here in the preview that it's going to be darker. We go ahead and apply that. And you can make the text a little bit darker. It gets a little bit rougher that way, but you can fine tune it with the sharpness. So one thing I'm noticing here, I'm kind of at an angle viewing these two devices with this review, and the Kobo Glo screen is a little bit fuzzier in appearance when you're kind of looking at an angle. the Kobo Aura HD is a little bit clearer. You're not going to be reading at an angle, so I don't know if that makes much difference, but something to do with the Kobo Aura HD screen. It does, other than obviously the increased resolution, it does seem a little bit clearer. It seems like the light layer is just a tad clearer too. I'm not entirely sure, but it definitely does just have a little bit more of a clear look to it. So as far as the reading features go, I mean, you get all the same reading features, you get all the notes, highlights, you can jump chapters and all this stuff. So we have sort of the basic, I mean, you're going to have the same exact basic features between both of these. The other main difference between these two devices, other than the screen, is how the home screen lays out. The home screen on the Kobo Glo, we've got the sort of mosaic of our recently read ebooks right here, and then with the Kobo HD, it shows everything we've done recently on here. So like stuff like awards get added to the home screen. We've got recommendations right here. You can actually remove these if you don't want them, so you can get rid of the recommended titles if you want, and it'll just show your ebooks. And you can also, it also, as you can see, it shows your extras. So we've got like chess and the web browser. It's accessible from the home screen if you have it on here, so that's pretty cool. I like the new layout of the home screen better than I like it on the Kobo Glo, that's for sure, just because we've got the more stuff on there. Some of the other options, as far as in the settings menu and the extras menu, with the Kobo Glo, we've just got chess, sketchpad. We've just got a couple things here. We've got a few more games. We've got solitaire over here, word scramble, so we've got a couple additional extras. Nothing that's certainly going to make you lean towards buying the device, but there are a few more extras in here. Both devices have the web browser you can use to download content if you'd like and search online. So other than that, I mean, mostly everything's the same between these two devices. You've got the same sort of language setup. Obviously they support by different countries, so you can get a bunch of different languages. We've got different dictionaries you can set up and install on both devices. So as far as the functionality standpoint goes, I mean, you're just getting the same sort of basic exact software. I mean, like I said, there's a couple of subtle differences, like the light and power here. You can have it, the light indicator at the bottom of the screen, you can have it solid on the Kobo Glo. That actually isn't an option on the Kobo Aura HD. It's always clear down here, which is fine by me because I didn't like this black spot down here anyway. The Kobo Aura HD just leaves it clear. So as you can see, the black spot gets added down here with that one. If you want that on, you don't have to have it on, of course. So there's just a couple subtle differences between the software. There's nothing really software-wise that's going to make you lean over one device over the other. I mean, they're both Kobo e-readers. They both have basically the same features. It's basically just the screen, the added real estate with the screen you get on the Kobo Aura HD. Obviously, got the different home screen and a few subtle differences, but basically, I mean, you get the higher resolution screen, the more content, more text on screen, and that's basically the difference between these two devices. The width on the Kobo Aura HD is a little bit thicker because it's got this contoured back where your fingers kind of go into this groove right here. Otherwise, the devices are the same basic hardware. I mean, you've got the same processor, we've got the same micro SD card slot, so same touchscreen technology.